Welcome back to the World Junior Curling Championships 2014. We're in the lovely Flims, Switzerland. This is the Waldhaus Arena. For our future game this morning in the women's draw 3, we'll have the Czech Republic facing off against the United States of America. Just a quick look at the table so far. We'll see Canada, Russia and Switzerland 2 wins each. So none of our teams in the future game on the top yet. Still a long way to go though. Long week, long championship. We'll see the Czech Republic at 0-2. USA picked up a big win yesterday against Korea, beating them 16-3. My name is Sander Ulvåg. I'm joined by the lovely Sara Karlsson. Good morning.
Good morning. It's an honor as always. Lineup for Czech Republic. We have lead Klara Svatonjova, second Alzbeta Bajdusova, skip and third Susanna Hajkova, and their fourth is Iveta Janatova, alternate Eliška Shrunska, and team coach Karel Kuberska.
For the United States of America, we'll have lead Anna Hopkins, second Anna Baumann, third Mackenzie Lank, and skip Corey Christensen. Alternate Tina Persinger and team coach Linda Christensen.
Czech Republic will be playing the Red Stones. They had the closest draw to the button, so they will also have the hammer in first end.
So I figured that was the Danish national anthem.
Being honored this morning, Danish girls. Oh. Honored and also a bit frightened.
A bit of a technical issue this morning. Hopefully that would set a spark to all the teams here and they'll all wake up.
Only throw peels for 10 ends.
I'm no national anthem expert, but I don't think that was a part of the Danish national anthem. By the way, name
I
of
thought
it.
you were the national anthems expert.
Well, actually, the name of the Danish national anthem is "There's a Lovely Country." Det är ett yndigt land.
Thank you for that translation.
We have time for a fun fact, Dave. The game's not really started yet. We'll see the hands shaking, and we'll probably see a few practice slides here before we get going. Remember, both teams have had a 9-minute practice, is it? Each before the game. And as you mentioned, they played that T draw. Corey Christensen came up a bit short, so the Czech draw was good enough for the hammer.
Yeah, they did bite the forefoot. So it's USA to start this third draw in the Women's World Junior Curling Championship. Czech Republic still looking for their first win. They've become quite the experienced team. Got the silver in 2012. Didn't make the playoffs in 2013. But they're definitely getting used to this high-level curling. Corey Christensen, she has done a couple of World Juniors as well. I think this is her third. Am I right?
Yep. Third World Juniors, and she also played the Winter University Games just before Christmas in Italy.
Should be good practice for their team.
And she's used to the Alps by now. Just on the other side of the mountain, really.
Do you think that's going to help? Maybe.
Well, Flims has a kind of a same feel. It's an Alp town. You know, it's always nice to just feel comfortable, eh?
Definitely. Lead for USA and first stone of the game comes from Anna Hopkins. We've seen this side of the sheet be really, really straight. She's not going to curl up with that stone, and it's just beside the center line. And once again, we get quite the defensive start to the game.
Aye, that's not really a good shot for the Czechs. Could be, sorry, for the US. So it could be a good chance for the Czechs to put corner guard up here. It's not really worth guarding for the Americans, but it seems like they're focused on keeping it simple to start off with. Obviously, coming off 2 losses here, maybe just want to build a bit of confidence and ease into the game.
Yeah, give yourself a chance to make a couple of easy shots in the first end, get more confidence, and go for it more offensively later in the game. Take out back from Anna Hopkins. She will roll all the way out. But Susanna Haikova, she wants to keep the play in the rings.
Haikova has a good record against the USA. She's played them 4 times in international competition and won 4 times. So, you know, even though coming off 2 losses here, you have a good record against the Americans and obviously Cora Christensen a few times. Beat Corey in the World Juniors last year in Sochi, Ice Cube Curling Center.
Plays a really nice draw to the side of the rings. Don't think the back one should really be any problem here as long as she hits the inside of this red. Second for USA is Anna Baumann.
A big extension there, really flicked that one. And ends up hitting the high side and does jam the red one.
I probably jinxed her, right?
You probably did.
Sorry. So red is even shot stone. Czech Republic now going to split the rings. Draw to the other side. Try and get 2 stones in play with big separation. Here is Alzbeta Baudusova.
Get some nice separation here. There is an angle for a double, but I don't think they're going to take it on at this point. Probably just going to play the hit and roll here. Hit the top red. Just roll to the left, try and gather the red ones, and hope for an easier double attempt later in the end. And then we're probably going to see the Czechs try and do the complete opposite, try and roll back and just keep separation. So probably just going to see a nose hit here from the Czechs. Couldn't quite make that roll, Baumann.
No, they were also sweeping it all the way. So I don't think they even wanted to roll.
Seems a bit strange to me, but I've been wrong before.
Really? I don't think so. Now sweepers are all over this one. They're going to need to try and keep it straight, or, well, maybe.
Well, she might roll underneath the yellow here, actually, for shot stone. But yeah, so is that a terrible plan B if you're going to roll that far in the first place?
No, it's actually lined up pretty nicely. I guess USA could probably make them all go by playing on their own yellow, but kind of a tricky shot, just going to hit the open one. Keep hoping for a mistake. Mackenzie Lang is playing third. She also played in the Women's Worlds in 2011 with her mom, Patty Lang.
Really wanted to stick around there. Now the Czechs can put this red on the other side and get maximum separation. And it's going to be very hard for the US team to get that double.
Susanna Haikova, skipping third, also left-handed player. Maybe won't really matter on these type of open draws, but she will get a different angle playing from the other hack.
Just want to bring this one right behind the tee line here, just to keep a completely flat line of the red ones. Doesn't quite do that, but that's good enough. And again, the Americans just want to hit this red one and roll towards the other. So looking like an easy score of 2 for the Czech Republic so far. If they don't make any silly mistakes.
Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward.
Does roll in a little bit, but should be quite easy for the Czechs here to just play the nose hit, even just roll a bit to the left here.
Yeah, as long as they just keep setting 2, they're probably gonna score 2. USA just waiting on them to make some sort of mistake, like rolling out, and then they can get rid of the other red.
Well, there's an angle for double. Not sure if Corey has the weight for the shot though, but at least rolled towards it.
Even if she sits shot in stone and somewhat in front of the red, it will make the shot a lot more difficult for Janatova.
Corey Christensen, skip of Team USA. Had a few goes at the Worlds. Maybe looking to medal this time.
She makes a nice roll. It's not all the way over to the other side. Maybe if Janatova just hits this on the nose or doesn't roll that far, she'll have an easier shot with her last.
Silver medalist from 2012, Östersund. Got known for her draw weight. Pretty spot on the whole week in 2012.
Oh, this one's really curling.
That's actually perfect.
It's perfect, yeah.
There's not going to be a double there, and you'd expect Corey to just make the open take. And I'll leave them a pretty simple shot for 2. Good start for the Czech Republic here if they can not fumble this with their last shot. Said Janatova was known for her draw weight. Maybe not as solid with the takeouts, but made this one good with a little help from her sweepers. Now I want to stick around here, Corey. Make sure she has to play the hit on the back rings for 2. And not just leave an open draw.
This is the curling side, and sweepers all over it. She needs to get rid of the red, and no need to worry. She makes it.
Yep, pretty good there. Just making sure that the Czechs now have to really play the nose hit, or at least a little bit of the inside. If you're hide side here, it might roll too far.
Last stone of the first end on its way here. Just need to hit and stick around to score 2. And she's really gotten control of her weight. Doesn't roll too far. 6 around in the rings, and Czech Republic scores 2 in the first end. Early lead over USA. There you see the score. 2-0 Czech Republic after 1 end of play. We will move into the second end. And now it's USA with the last stone advantage. They are going to need to get some stones in play to try and generate a multiple score back. So it is Klára Svatonova to start the second end. They're going to draw towards the center of the house. Want this stone top of the tee line in the middle to really early in the end close down the scoring area for USA, try and generate some pressure. Just puts this straight on the tee line. And Anna Hopkins is going to play the corner guard.
Line's good, 2-3. Line's good. 3, 2-3, 2. Line's good, roll if you can. Roll. Roll. No, on its own. Sit.
This one looking a bit pacey actually. But well said, just in time.
All right, Anna.
Obviously, if that stone slipped into the rings, the Czech Republic would be able to hit the stone. Now they're not allowed. We have the free guard zone. So I just have to ignore the yellow and probably put up a guard here, the Czechs.
Yeah, I want to guard the red, but would like to bite the center line just a little bit to make sure that USA keeps away from the corner guard.
Yeah, make sure you're tight here as well. Don't want to leave too much room. Just want to control the forefoot, the Czechs. Even if you're top 12 here, it's not the end of the world. We'll leave a bit of room.
Remember, really good line.
Yeah, perfect line, but could have brought a little closer to the rings maybe.
USA still ignoring this and drawing behind the corner.
It's the same tactic we saw employed by the Canadians yesterday, Canadian women, when they were trying to get back in their game. They were just ignoring everything on the center line, just playing the draw around the corner. And I do appreciate this approach.
Why do you appreciate it?
It's just an aggressive call here, and just really trying to hide one of your own stones here on the side. And although if you don't make it, you might be in trouble. Another choice could be to come down and freeze onto the shot stone behind the center guard, but you probably see the Czechs just come right in after.
Yeah, and it makes it really tight. It's nice to get some separation. Make sure you have a couple of stones in play, because that will leave the opportunity of a multiple score. Would have loved to roll only to the center line with that one. She will roll all the way out, but now Czech Republic sitting 2. And I think Corey Christensen is going to take off the center guard.
Yeah, maybe feels like that corner guard is just a bit too tight to come around, and She's going to open things up over here.
She even catch the one in the rings. Yep.
Perfect shot. Really nice shot by Anna Baumann. Keeps the blank alive too. Just so if USA feels like they're not going to get their two here, they might just stop to blank the end.
Yeah, and it looks like it might happen. Czech Republic are going to take off the corner guard. They would really like to roll in with their shooter to keep sitting two, but this one really, really curling. No, it's okay.
And now what's Corey's plan?
Well, she's just going to hit the high one, a roll in front of the other one, and hope to get maybe the same sort of mistake out of USA that out of Czech Republic that they got in the last end, where Czechs hit this, they can either stick it, or if they hit it thin, they will roll off, and then the blank will be in play. Did that make sense?
That makes perfect sense,
Okay,
although they couldn't quite pull it off though. They're in the open, meaning obviously the redstone's not behind it, makes it a lot easier to hit this yellow.
Want to keep the shooter in the rings. Roll out to the other side. Nicely done. Still leaves the same shot for USA.
Yeah, it seemed like the Czechs were more worried about rolling in front of their own stone, which really only sets up a double. So I wouldn't mind them rolling even further away, keeping separation, lying two, and then forcing USA to have to take a one. There's a bit of separation now though. Mackenzie Lank here trying to hit the shot stone and probably going to try and roll underneath the other red, but hits the wrong side of it.
Now Czech Republic can once again try and create that separation. The last end it was to take two, this time it's to force USA to a single. Really want to keep the separation. They won't really now. The stones are really close together. Should be a pretty straightforward double for Mackenzie Lank. Oh, looks like she gave this a little bit, and it's really, really curling. She's got them both. Really nice shot. Just the open hit left for Czech Republic, really, and this end is really starting to look like a blank. Cora Christensen with her first, just want to swap places with this red one. She'd like to stick it right there. There is a chance if she just notices this that, well, it's at least going to be harder for Janatova because she's going to need to make a roll, and we know that USA would love to blank this end. Ah, but she, ooh, did she spin in?
Yeah, I think she spun back.
She left a little biter.
Not sure if it'd make a difference, so. Maybe just a little bit tight on line here, but she's going to be on Dale, that's for sure. Would like to spin in as well. Does that. Nice shot. Will force Cora Christensen to make the hit and roll out for the blank end. And now why do you blank the end instead of scoring one?
Because you can keep your last stone advantage. Try and score 2 instead, rather than only taking the 1 point and giving last stone back to your opponent. Here it is, the last stone of the second end. And they're cleaning it now, which means that they're on the red. Hit it, roll out, and that's how you blank. This, of course, means that the standings after 2 ends is still Czech Republic leading the game 2-0. Third end getting started. We're going to see pretty much the same approach. Klara Svatoniova drawing to the center line. Cora Christensen going to ask for the corner guard. Oh, it slips just a little behind the tee line. It's straighter on that side, which also means the stones are likely to slide a bit further. Really important for the team to really talk about this and make sure that they have the both of the sides figured out so that they can place stones everywhere. Like to get this quite tied to the rings. If it's top 12 foot, it's okay, but they need to cover the entire stone. It's in an okay place because it's in the rings. USA are allowed to hit it, and they would also love to roll in behind the corner guard. The double is not the main thing. The important thing is that they keep their shooter in a good place. like to move the play out to the side of the rings. Oh, but this one's hanging wide. Option B, hit the back one. Yeah, she will get it. Roll out. Maybe just a bit too much weight on that one. And Haikova making her way up to the corner guard pretty fast. They're not gonna let USA have any chance of creating multiple score. Even improves her stone in the top 12 foot.
Yeah, quite cheeky. Nice little tap as well.
Nine's good. 2-3. 2-3. Plenty of room. 3. Well, it's just stand at the back. Looks like it's got a lot.
USA just going to put the corner guard back up. I think we're going to see Czech Republic removing it time after time.
Well, this one's on the house though, Sarah.
So instead of a blank, Czech Republic can now hit and stick and try and force the one.
Yeah, pretty much try and do the same that they were doing in the second end. Just got to make sure they don't leave a double for the US. That's how they got out of that situation.
Yeah, I think the blank is also okay for Czech Republic. They would really like to get the hammer back, but they are up by 2 shots. So as long as they stay away from any big scores by USA, it's looking pretty good for them. And she rolls out, so
2-3.
the blank will be in play. But gonna have one more go at the corner guard. So that one sits in front of the rings. Iveta Janatova just making sure that they hit this in a place where it doesn't roll in off the red one back there. Want to make it quite thin to drive it by. They're gonna make it thick instead, but leave a corner guard, and that was a frustrated Haikova.
Yeah, and the Americans have gotten exactly what they wanted here at corner guard, and pretty close to the shot stone as well. Not the longest roll Mackenzie Lank has to make here, but she really flicked this one. And this one's going to curl. Will have to curl a lot, even just to hit the red one here. That's a big mistake. Rolls all the way out. And
here's a bit of tactical change from Czech Republic.
yeah, I thought they would just rip the corner guard here, to be honest.
But it's what they have been doing all end long.
If this was their skip's first stone, I might see them play it, but you're still in third stones here.
Yeah, you are going to leave USA some sort of opportunity to draw behind the corner guard. Even if you make a perfect draw yourself, they can always freeze or tap or get one in there somehow.
Or a run back even. At least gotta make sure not to be deep with this one. Don't want to put this one behind the tee line and allow a freeze for the US team. Although she is left-handed, so she'll have a slightly better angle coming at the corner guard here. But it's a fair bit of room passing the corner guard. And this one does look heavy. Gonna slip all the way to the back of the 12.
Yep, now the shot's available for USA. They want to be in front of the tee line to get the pressure on Czech Republic. There is an option to draw all the way down, but then Czech Republic can just keep freezing. So ignore the back one and just try and sit in front of the tee line. Waiting on this to curl. Also looking a little bit heavy. And it will be all the way down. I don't think it's really removable. But it's still now Czech Republic with the opportunity of getting one in front of the tee line. You said she was known for her draws. Let's see if she makes this one.
Whoa. Whoa. Colleague.
Looking heavy, so I think they're just sweeping it onto the backing here. I want to make sure to keep the angle a little bit on the left side here. She's done that. It's going to be very hard to remove that red, so still a good chance for two here. Should be able to get shots on here fully buried.
But still want to aim to be in front of the tee line. Don't want to give Janatova the exact same draw to outcount the yellow.
Might just be on to the back red here. Looking really heavy. If she could just lock it on, it's not terrible.
It's not too bad of an angle.
No. It's really heavy though. She was playing the straight draw.
It's such a common mistake when you know that there's backing. You tend to be just a little bit heavy and come all the way down to it, even if it's not the way you create pressure on your opponent. If Iveta Janatova can just make the same draw down to the yellow again, they will have achieved their goal of forcing the single for USA.
Need to be pretty perfect with this draw.
Just waiting on the line here. Starting to curl now.
I think we're pretty close. Have they left it too long? Seems like it might be over curling this one. A bit of shy on weight as well. And I do believe that's going to be a draw for 2 for Corey
Yeah, it
Christensen.
certainly looks like it.
What? I think it's left. You think so? I don't know what that says. Do you want to play it just in case? Já to nekontrolovala, ale mě to vypadá, že jsou lepší, ale vypadá, že to jako čekují dost. You guys want to come look? It's close.
So maybe not that obvious as we
No.
first thought.
Our camera angle is a bit different than the reality.
Yeah. And obviously if they're not sure here, you could just play the tap really. Don't spend too much time on it.
I think I just like the straight. I think it's yellow.
Obviously you're not allowed to measure this before, after the end.
No, just need to make your own assumption and play after your own opinion. So Corey Christensen is pretty confident that they're sitting one, they're just going to play the straight draw. And it is quite the turnaround. It's actually, since Czech Republic made that move to draw behind the corner guard rather than removing it, which they had been doing for the entire end, now leaves Corey Christensen this draw for 2. She just needs to bite the forefoot to be there. Looking a bit heavy. Will it sit in time?
Yes. So surely one for the US, and I'm going to go ahead and think and see. It's going to be 2. But the Czechs want to measure. They're going to put the broom down just to indicate that the umpire should come on and have a look. So yeah, just a bit of mistake there from the Czech girls, I think, coming around the corner guard instead of peeling it off. I think that's something maybe you'll see Karel and Anna Kubeshka on the bench maybe see after the game.
Yeah, it's tempting when it's your own guard, because there was a red stone that was in front of the rings. And somehow it feels wrong to hit your own stones and roll out, but when you've left your opponent a corner guard and they have last stone and you're up by 2, it might be an idea to just peel it off. And you will see it there, it's most certainly yellow. And USA scores 2 back in the third end to tie the game up at 2 each. We do have a couple of other games going on.
Yes, we do. We got Russia playing Canada on the other side of the arena. That was 1 point for Canada in the first end, and then we had 2 blank ends. Scotland is 1 up on Sweden. Sweden blanked their second after Scotland scored 1 in the first. And Switzerland 2 shots to 1 lead over Korea. And just next to our sheet we have Italy playing Denmark. It's Denmark leading that game 2 shots to 1. So all close games so far.
Yeah, there's been a couple of upsets so far in the tournament, but it looks like teams are tightly matched out there today.
Yeah, I think Corey's game against Korea yesterday, 16-3. That's I can't remember numbers like that. Certainly not in the last few years at the juniors. I think you have to go maybe a decade back for that. As we mentioned just a little bit yesterday, it's very clear that most of the nations in the championship here are really getting a lot better than we maybe had 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, the field is definitely more even, and it's good to see a lot of teams and countries developing. So do you think this is Haikova's tactics of getting two? She made it in the first end.
Yeah, just hoping for a big miss from the US. Yeah, not sure. I'm just being a bit defensive here. I guess they just want to keep things tight. You were commentating on the Worlds in 2012 when they were playing. Do you remember any particular style of play?
No, I seem to remember them putting a lot of stones in play, actually, both in 2012 and 2013. Always lots of stones everywhere, as far as I can remember, but maybe just a bit of a tactic change.
Yeah, maybe not coping with the draw weight as well as previous years. You just want to keep the game tight. They're not exactly playing, I guess, a favorite here, the US team, although they, I think they might be a contender for our playoffs, maybe. I think, again, it's very even here.
Definitely. We're going to see the corner guard up now, though. And then it's going to be up to USA if they want to leave it in play or peel it off.
And why has Haikova waited for the corner guard to be played until now?
Well, now they're, USA rolled away. They rolled out of the rings for their last one, so the house is completely empty, which means there's no real danger.
Yeah, it's a risk-free attempt.
Yeah, but it's also not going to give them a lot of reward because free guard zone rule does no longer apply, and Bauman's just going to peel this right away.
All right, but if we do get a miss,
like that
and we
one,
do get a miss, that's well, the plan's worked already.
Yeah, worked in the first end, worked in this end, but it's still not. It's a lucky break. You can never count on your opponents to miss their shots and get your points that way.
No, but again, it's tied up at 2 each, and you're in the fourth end here, so the Czechs they're just using their last one advantage, really. Just being patient, just waiting for a mistake, and you'll see some teams employ that tactic and just be patient, and then they might put more stones in play as you might come into the second half of the game. But again, if you end up blanking all the way through 10th, you're happy, right? If you're the Czech Republic, you have last stone in 10th end.
Yeah, but what are we going to talk about? Okay, so that goes through the house, and there's a new chance for Bauman. I think also Corey Christensen has adjusted the ice a little bit.
Yep. Yes. Yes. Heart. Yes. Yes. Heart.
So the first one was a miss. This one is a nose hit, and the corner guard is still in play. Tough end for Bauman.
3 misses in a row here with the Czech draw as well.
Yep. So let's see if Baudusova gets control of her weight. This is really, really wide. Really want to get in behind cover of the corner guard, even if it's a yellow one.
Did you ever pick up what that word means? Awesome?
It means 8, so that should be just behind the T line.
Because it just seems like...
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. The weight's awesome.
I really like that call from the sweepers. It's awesome.
Yeah, it makes sense. Awesome. Vosim is 8 in Russian. It's a Slavic language. No, this is the banter we would be having if we were having blank ends for the whole game, and I think people would be tuning out.
Yeah, some stones in play, please. Can they see enough of this? Well, corner guard is quite high. Mackenzie Lank with board weight. Gonna try and pick this red one out.
Střílíme, nebudeme to asi komplikovat.
Nejde Rolsen?
Ne. Kráčí klidně na střed.
Haikova, I would really like to get a bit of a roll here to the left as we see it on our screens. Oh, and she'll roll all the way out to the other side. Looks like she put quite a bit of weight on that one to make those hidden rolls. Could be an advantage to bring your hit weight down a little bit, get more control, give your sweepers something to work with.
And now US girls are pretty much in the same situation that the Czech girls were in the previous end. They're not electing to draw around the corner guards, but they are drawing into the house.
They are, but they're just drawing into the center. It will leave some sort of hit and roll, but it's going to be fairly difficult.
Exactly. You could pick off the corner guard here, but I guess they just think this is just as a simple shot, although this is missed completely.
It just leaves a guard for Czech Republic.
Nothing really working for the US girls here, but Czech Republic haven't really been able to profit from their mistakes yet. Let's see if Haikova can make a good one here.
Final stone for Haikova. Want to get this buried. Totally in behind cover of the yellow. Starting to curl now, looking fairly good. Just need to get a bit more swing. He's got good weight, but I don't think that's going to be hidden. That is the straight side. And you need to dare to take less ice, even if you know that it's curling in other places. You need to adjust the ice. Corey Christensen is going to make this go away. She made it curl for sure, but it looks okay. She's even going to get a bit of a roll. Ooh! They started sweeping, then they went off it. They probably shouldn't have. Feathers the guard, and
wise words from Miss Hindsight, Anna Carlson.
Yep. So Czech Republic now have a chance to create their deuce anyway.
Yeah, well, they might even get 3 here if they can come around half checked around the corner guard. They're really only exposing maybe a thin half of both the reds, if even that, and might just make it slightly more difficult for USA to remove one. So just trying to set up a Christmas tree effect here. Just kind of stagger all the stones here. The red, less stone just throwing on the guard.
The important thing is not to leave a double.
Oh, looking heavy now. Looking really heavy. Might have to bounce off her own here. So sweeping this one to get a thin hit.
Gets a really good result, actually.
Yeah,
not really a double on there.
No, you can't freeze the stone behind the guard for shot stone either, I think. So I think she just has to hit the open one here and give up two. Didn't exactly make Corey's shot very difficult, but I think they'll be happy about scoring two.
So just the open hits for Corey Christensen with her last in the fourth end. She is going to leave some sort of play for two. And nothing from the sweepers.
I think we're on it though. It does roll to the side, so it does close off the rings a little bit. At least you have to make the full 8-foot draw here for two. Although she probably wanted Iveta to play the hit instead of the draw. Just play the shot. Was heavy though, so it needs to take off a little bit of weight. Don't think they have the backing with the ice they're taking here. Last stone of the fourth end.
And it looks like she's definitely brought her weight down. Now they just need to get it all the way in the 8-foot, and it's definitely looking short.
Yeah, I'm gonna work this one really hard. Full 8-foot they need, and I don't think they're gonna get there. That's a big mistake. And she hasn't really showed off her draw weight, has she? Like in previous years.
No, and I'd like to see both teams just stepping up a little bit, trying to create something. Right now they're getting, both teams are kind of getting their good situations going from the other team's mistake rather than trying to create something for themselves. Just get a couple of good stones in play. Make sure you really make good use when you get a mistake of your opponent. Standings after 4 ends is 1 point lead for Czech Republic, 3-2.
So just going to kick off the 5th end here. I think the Czechs will be looking to bring the stone into the house. They're in the lead, don't really need any guards here. It's the US team that needs to push on and put the guards in play. A little bit short.
Yeah, I think they're still taking a bit too much ice on that side. I don't think they've managed to reach the center line there once. It doesn't curl as much.
They'd also have to sweep the whole way though, so it does kind of straighten out, but I agree that none of the teams really has curled enough on this spot. So the USA thinks that if they hit the red here on the nose, they might lie outside the house But he won't. Maybe she didn't even think that. But they do play the hit.
Yeah, not really making anything happen here. Well, it is the 5th end. They could blank this and take the hammer into the 6th. Try and keep the last stone advantage in the even ends. Gonna roll into the rings here. She'll hit it a bit too much on the high side. Leave a corner guard. And now we do have the guard in play. Hopkins gonna draw around this. Lank and Bauman really working hard here. They just got it by the red. Could not really be much closer to the guard than that. Nice shot by Hopkins. Czech Republic do not want to get caught in draws behind the corner guard, so they're going to play the run back. Bit wide, won't quite make it. USA gonna put the guard back up, and now it's yellow guard. Would rather be running your own stones in than the opponent's. This guard is a lot higher, but it's got a really nice line. Czech Republic can't really see anything of the stone in the house, so they're just gonna single peel the guard now.
Something tells me this is a little bit tight on line.
Yeah, won't really roll all the way out like they wanted, and could make it harder for them if USA replaces the corner. Could even draw another one in here, get the Christmas tree effect that you were talking about, Sandler. Just keep making sure that Czech Republic can only get rid of one of the yellows at a time. Keep the possibility of scoring 2 alive. Would have liked to curl a bit more. There is a double opportunity. took quite a lot of ice on that one. Won't really curl enough. It'll hang around, but leave the yellow one still sitting shot.
Like over here.
CZE-USA now looking to split the rings. Draw towards the red. Or play the same again.
What do you like? I don't know. Over here? Okay.
Still really, really straight down this path, catching a bit of a curl when it crosses the center line. Like to get this as far out as possible to create good separation. Don't want to leave an angle either.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the weight, but so high in the house, so the double's quite steep, and they're not going to play it.
I think they want to get just a tiny roll towards the corner guard, but they can't really roll that far because then they won't out count the top yellow.
It's good enough for shot stone.
Waiting on this to curl. Want to keep the separation, don't want to roll towards your other one. Hits it on the nose. Czech Republic looking at the double. Double or even hit the top one, roll towards the other one, group them together, hope to get a double with the last. Oh, look at this. She's so close to making the double. Not really enough weight to push the yellow one out of the rings. And it's actually now hidden behind the corner guard instead. So close to making a really good shot. And instead puts them in trouble.
Your excitement was for nothing then?
No, it was still exciting.
Well, so Corey Christensen, like and a few other ends we've had so far, just want to again make sure she has separation here. It's going to hit this red and roll to the left. If she was really aggressive, she could have rolled underneath her corner guard here and try and get 3, but doesn't have as much of a margin doing that.
Roll it the other way.
But they are going to do it anyway, though. Ah, too late in that call.
Well, actually, when I look at it, it'll just be rolling
Top.
into their own yellow,
Yeah.
so they couldn't really hide it.
But the double is definitely a lot closer now, and even if they don't make it, if they just roll towards the red, it shouldn't really be possible for Corey Christensen to score more than 1.
Musíme to. No, a 9?
9, no. 9.
No, přepadne. Jako double, no. Já jsem musel jako vidět. Ale ty.
Really need this to curl Czech Republic if you want to force the single. Ah, she'll just get it bang on the nose.
Go the same way.
Corey Christensen can do the same thing to score 2.
Yeah.
It's good communication from Corey at the hack here. She's talking about the weight of her last one and telling her sweepers she's going to take this down a little bit. It's good to make sure everyone knows what's going to happen, and right now they need to hit this and stay. She'll make it, get 2, and USA will lead the game after half.
Right, so that's the scoreboard here. Czech picks up 2 in the first, a blank, and then USA picks up 2 twice in the 3rd and 5th end, leading the game 4 shots to 3. Just an update on the other games in the arena today. Russia plays Canada. After 3 blank ends, Russia picks up 3, now leads the game 3 shots to 1. Sweden still leads 2 shots to 1 over Scotland after blanking the 4th. Also a blank end in the 4th end between Switzerland and Korea. The Swiss leads 3 shots to 1. Italy and Denmark is the game just next to our sheet. Italy is taking control with a steal, a 1 and the 4th end, now leading the game 4 shots to 2.
In the first end of the game between Czech Republic and United States, it was a pretty straightforward takeout for Iveta Janatova to score 2 in the first end. Just hits this stick around and Czech Republic off to an early lead. In the third end, it's time for the Americans to do the same thing, but this time with a draw. Corey Christensen, they're already sitting one. She needs to bite the forefoot. Haikova will try to sweep this all the way out, but it will be 2 after a measure, after 3 ends. The game is tied at 2 each. Finally, 5th end, Czech Republic, they got 1 in the 4th, leading the game with 1 point, but Corey Christensen is now left with a nose hit for 2 and the lead in the game. She'll stick around with that one as well, score 2. And with half the game played, it's 4-3 for the United States. And this time we have a different opening, center guard.
Yeah, center guard from the US. Not sure if they were planning to put a center guard up though. Well, they're 1 point ahead. It's not exactly the tactic we've seen so far.
What would you say about the first half of the game?
Very defensive, I think. Just both teams just trying to wait for mistakes from their opponent, and then trying to just trying to pounce when that happens. But yeah, not too many stones in play. And the Czech Republics have picked up a few easy deuces.
Yeah, they even had that draw for 2 when they only got the 1 as well. But see what happens now when the centre guard is up. Anna Hopkins coming down to the red now. It's quite far back. Czech Republic gonna ignore the yellow in the rings and come around. You'd love to be just in front of the tee line. Top 8 4-foot sit shot, stone and buried. Klára Svatonjová, lead for the Czech team that got the silver in 2012. That's a good draw. I don't think it's shot stone, but it's still in a very usable position. USA gonna draw around to try and sit 2 with Anna Bauman's first stone. Second half of the game just started. This is the 6th end. And if you just joined us, you're watching the World Junior Curling Championships 2012.
14, maybe?
Yes. I don't know where that came from. I just said 2012. 14, of course, we're in the Waldhaus Arena in Flims. Elzbieta Baudusova have a chance of getting to that yellow. I don't think she's curling enough, so this might be option B, going for the back one. She'll make that instead. Keep 2 stones around. Yellow still relying shot.
So just looking to remove the back one here. Anna Baumann does that quite well.
Sorry, Anna, good throw.
Does roll just a bit too far for a second shot though. Corey just apologising. Just swept that one for Lina. Just a bit too much. And you might see the Czechs come after the shot stone now. Maybe try and roll to the right in front of that element. Or maybe they can get the inside here. Played a lot of weight for that shot, really. You'd think you maybe bring the weight down to get a bit more curl after passing the guard.
Yeah, definitely. Even hack, even if you don't push that yellow out of the house, it's not the end of the world. The important thing is to place your own stones in a really good position. With that weight, there wasn't really a possibility to get the curl. Mackenzie Lank gonna answer with a soft weight takeout, try and make it herself. This will curl past the guard, won't get much of a roll. But it's really tight to roll there now.
No, bychom tam dostali právě, jo. Myslím, že to rukama teda. Jako drží docela, ale neodpadává, už neodpadává.
Remember, Haikova, she is a lefty, so she won't see quite as much of this yellow as a right-handed player would. And now Svatonyova, Bahadusova, they really need to get this past the guard. She does. Gets a tiny bit of a roll.
Didn't look too happy with that throw, Haikova. But
that's what the sweepers are for.
Yeah, nice result.
Yeah, I think hack. Whoa, right off. Nope. Right off. Right off.
Ale tak máš šudlama, všem se závidím, tím teď za tyhle se neumíme. 12-2.
Rolls out, leaves the draw for Haikova. Really important that she gets this in a good spot. Don't want to be behind the tee line.
Jako jako stojí to
Jo,
spíš
jo,
tak.
jo.
No.
That's a hard line. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Put it out at all, it just stays
Being
there.
a little bit aggressive here, the Czechs. You might see some teams start heading the yellow ones, but that's just not going to help you a whole lot. So just going to ignore those and come around the guard, put some pressure on the States.
Stej by nestačil, takže asi zájem. Potřebujeme červený. Schovaný.
It's quite a good opportunity for them to get a deuce back. But she needs a good one here, Susanna Haikoa.
Místa dost! Kolik? Wow! Wow! Kolik?
Hard climb.
Wow!
Go, 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 go.
Now trying to get it all the way down. Don't want to leave the hit and roll for Cora Christensen. She could make it. She would be behind the T line, but she would outcount the top red if she made it.
3-9, ty prdy. Já vím, že jsme měli 3-9. Jsem chtěla udělat 14-8.
Kind of like this. Yeah, because they're 1, 2. Right.
Aspoň se tam.
Just hack. Try to roll over.
Jako, chtěla jsem si jestli ještě to. Já už je zase strčila, já ho zase přistrčila prostě. To je hrozně halový od nás.
Just hack. Do you like hitting?
Boris free.
Just hack weight to hit as much of the red as possible. Want to curl when you get past the yellow guard, so that's the reason for bringing the weight down. If she could even roll a little bit and hide her shooter. Make it more difficult for Czech Republic. Corey Christensen, skip of the American team.
Whoa! Where is it? Close! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Rita! Whoa! Anna, roll it over. Hard roll, hard roll. Yep!
Hele, já bych to zkusila trochu posunout.
Nice shot by Corey.
Máme lepší? Ne.
I think Czech
Buď
Republic
můžeme
just
jet
gonna
tohle.
ignore this.
Backline.
Or are they gonna make a play on it?
Jenom 8, 9. Prostě 14. Hraj 14.
So just gonna try and move the yellow one far enough so that they set 2. Iveta Janatova is the 4th player of the Czech Republic team.
Wow! Nemám směr. Nemám směr. Vůbec nemám směr.
Hard, Kinsey. Go, 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 go.
She won't curl enough. She might be sitting shot, but it's an open one. Might also be USA with the shot stone here.
I think it's not. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Do you think we'll roll enough though? 'Cause we can roll. No, we can. Do you like control?
To byla hezká.
Okay, I like board. My last one was probably close to board. Yeah, let's do it. I'll just do the same. Okay. Here.
A tenhle byl daný jako, že tam bude něco mezi 8, 9 a dometený prostě.
This way. Even nose is fine.
Než jako, že bych
Okay.
chtěla
Here's board.
z ruky
A
přímo.
little more. Yeah.
So board weight, get rid of the red, sit 2. Want to be careful not to leave a double and give Czech Republic the opportunity to score 2. the way into the center. Not sure
Tohle spíš freeze, no.
Janatova has enough of this to get rid of both yellow.
Kolik je vidět, holky? Holky! Bedlí! Otázka, jestli to za to stojí, no. Je potřeba být jako hacky, no. Aby to vyrolovalo.
Jako dáme jednu.
Hrála bych to jako 9, tou samou rychlostí klidně, no. Nebo klidně pomalejší, jak chceš. Vyber si teď ty.
Jako když to bude pomalejší, tak to dáme ten nevyšoupne a můžeme brát normálně.
Na jedna. Na jedna?
Asi jo.
Jenom stejně ledu?
So just a straight draw for one. Don't really want to risk making a mistake and giving up a point here.
Hrát na jedna, ono to moc není vidět. Takže jako týle.
Janatova with a chance to get even in the game. She has backing, she needs full forfeit to score one.
Wow! Wow! Vaše! Vaše!
Svatonyeva, Bodhisova once again giving this all they got. They definitely need full forfeit. USA line 2.
Came up short with a draw here earlier in the game. Can't afford to do it again, but I think they got there for the one. Good sweep.
Yep, thank the sweepers for their hard work. And it's
It was one in Czech version.
and it's one for the Czech Republic. So score will be 4 each after 6 ends. It's the same between Italy and Denmark, 4 each. Korea, Switzerland on 3 each. Sweden is leading the game against Scotland 3-2. And 3 each also between Canada and Russia. We have a lot of tight games today.
Jo. Abo jako je to vyrovnaný, jo. Můžeme jít do krabu. Oni budou stavět gard. Oni budou stavět, tak mi se pak zagardí. Jo. OK.
Já ti to tady srou. Dejkej.
They got one. One red. One red. Thank you.
Umpires get the score on the board, and Klara Svatonyeva will start once again. They're still taking a lot of ice here. This side is a bit straighter, and they want to find the center line. Both teams have been struggling to get enough curl.
Si myslím, že jedeme 14.
One does in front of the tee line, and on the center. I think they just need to adjust the ice because it is straighter, and the teams just need to catch up.
Hezký 4-1.
And we're going to see quite the open end again. USA electing the hit.
I think USA will be very happy to blank the 7th end, really, to keep hammer or last on advantage till the 8th end. Tied up at 4 each. Good chance of having last on both in the 8th and 10th end, meaning they'll have last on 2 times in the last 3 ends. And the Czechs only the 1 time, so I'm really surprised that the Czechs are drawing into the house here. Should really put a sentry guard in play and try and force US girls to score in this end.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Xander. They're just giving the opportunity to USA. Both teams have been quite defensive so far.
So I saw the Czech women's team actually with Anna Kobeschka. They did the same thing at Europeans. And I'm just a little surprised about the game plan.
Yep, the rings are now wide open.
I definitely didn't see this at the Olympics for any game. 7th end would always be interesting, at least when the games are tied.
6-7.
You more or less always see a score. It's really hard to blank the 7th end usually because the other team obviously wants the exact opposite, but making it very easy for the States just now.
Yeah, they're not going to put up a corner guard. They're not even going to be close because they're drawing all the way through. And now Haikova is asking for the center guard, but now the free guard zone rule is no longer in play, so USA can just pick it off if they want.
Oh! 4-3! 6-2!
Not really curling either, and they take it all the way into the rings.
Yes, hard. Yep. Hard.
Anna Baumann
Hard. Go, girls. Yep. Whoa, 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 you're fine.
gets rid of it. Right there.
No, ještě nic. Už můžete oba ven. Ano. OK. No, tak každopádně si garden.
6-7. Line's good. Where? 6-7. Line's really good.
Just need to make sure this is anywhere in the rings. They're going to be looking good to blank this.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Yes. Hard. Go, go, go. Yep. Hardy. Yep.
Jenom stay a tam není ten žen. Bacha na černo. To je cool.
Kova with the open hit. The only ever Czech team to actually medal at the Women's World Juniors ever, this team. Well, USA has a tradition of medaling at least a few times. Cassandra Johnson was the last one to win the junior title back in 2002. But since then, the US Women's has only medalled once, and I was actually here in Flims 4 years ago. Got the bronze medal.
Well, should be a good memory for them.
It's not the same team though.
No, but still.
But Corey Christensen was alternate for Miranda Solom last year in Sochi. Came on to play 3 games, and Miranda Solom was here as alternate for the US team. Alexandra Carlson was the skip of the US team in Flims. Yeah.
And that draw goes through the house. It's not really much happening this end.
No.
Both teams just kind of waiting on the 8th end to start. Isn't this when you're going to tell us about language and words and things like that? You said you were in blank ends.
Yeah, I haven't been able to pick up too many Swiss proverbs yet. But we'll get to that at some point, I believe.
That will be later in the week then.
Na 7, když tak, jo.
Tak jo, pojď do kruhu, jsme hodně venku. Jo.
I knew I should have had a glass of Prosecco for breakfast after all.
Yes, you're so well behaved. And while one draw goes through the house, the other one doesn't make the rings.
Třeba si dotoč. Like the peel? Dobrý.
And the question is, do you peel or do you draw?
Ben?
You definitely peel.
You like that?
Corey Christensen isn't too sure. But she is persuaded by Mackenzie in the hack. If they've been playing to blank all end, you might as well go for it.
Yeah,
Keep hammer
I don't see the point of drawing around the red center guard at this point when blanking
Massive
is pretty much the
extension.
best thing you can do.
So Mackenzie Lank gets rid of the guard, rolls off. And, a wise call.
Yellow Dixon!
Still quite young, Corey Christensen, although she's appearing at 3 World Juniors. I think she'll be able to play 2 more. She's at 94. Born in 94, I mean.
Not a 94.
No, so she may come back even a few times.
Yeah, we quite often see the teams with the experience from the championships. They may do better and better. So it's a good thing for them that they're still young enough to collect some experience and then go for the medals.
Tak jo, no. Jo. Průjezd, je to fakt průjezd? Tak jo. Neměla moc směr, no.
I think it's probably a pretty fast track there. We've seen both teams struggle to hit the rings. Corey Christensen gonna draw to the other side or towards the stones in the back. Gonna try and find some backing from the stones that's gone through the rings. Maybe hers will catch on to them if when the Czech Republics try to hit them.
Yeah, just backing off this one as well. But this was will actually pull up in time. We have a stone in the house.
Well, not for long if
Devět!
Janatova gets her way. Just important to hit this on the wide side. Don't stick it on the backing and leave it in the house.
It's a bit of the straight side here too, so you're not going to catch much curl if you flick it out there. But I think it's on. There we go. But an empty house, so pretty easy for Corey here to just run this last stone through, and they'll blank the end, and with that have a big advantage coming into the last 3 ends.
Definitely, even if they just score the 1 in the 8th end, they can give up 1 in the 9th and then have last stone with a tied game in the 10th.
Yeah, exactly. So just blank here, and then you'd love to score a 2 in the 8th, but just make sure you at least get on the board, and you'll have a solid chance of winning the game.
Stone goes through there and is blanked. Score is still 4 each for Czech Republic and the USA. And now we're just waiting for that corner guard, aren't we?
Ideální šíta. Ale zase bych to nehrotila, když to bude 1 na 2. Dej 2 je blbě.
Wait, still hard for a 2 now?
No měli určitě.
Yeah. So if they. I think. Otherwise. Okay.
Ten 9. může být prostě jako...
Three ends to go. This is the 3rd draw in the women's competition, World Junior Curling Championships. USA on 1-1, Czech Republic on 0-2. Be really good for both teams if they could get a win here.
By the way, if you'd like to ask a question, or if you have a comment, and if you have Twitter, you can use hashtag WJCC2014. WJCC2014. Just ask us anything, or if you just have a comment about our broadcast, feel free to do so.
Absolutely. We do have a center guard. Czech Republic learned from previous end, but remember this is the 8th end. USA will be happy just to score. They would love to put 2 on the board. Going to start by drawing around. Czech Republic want to keep the play to the center, try and close down the scoring area as much as possible.
Thank you for you're the Czech Republic here. You might want to even try and steal a point here. And now you have 2 centre guards, so just a perfect setup for that to happen. That's a bit of a mistake from Anna Hopkins. Really needed that one to be in the house. Overlap centre guards here.
And sweepers indicating this to be
just behind T-line.
Behind the T-line. We know that by now. Finds a good line. Just need to sit down.
It's not bad, eh?
Oh, it's a nice shot. Gonna play the freeze here.
Yeah, even a little bump here isn't bad.
No, as long as you have the line, you don't really want to be wide and bump it. And the beautiful shot by Anna Hopkins with her 2nd.
Now we're going to get a few more stones in play. We haven't really seen this type of play yet in the game. Although those little freezes and taps behind the centre guard we love to see. It's been a very open game.
This might be a bit short, so they're just going to leave it as a guard instead.
Yeah, didn't end up having a great line here to come down onto the yellow. Not that I think they would have been able to sweep it all the way there. This was well short.
Still not in a bad place.
No, it's usable and certainly makes things a little bit messy for the US. They really want to keep the centre open here, make sure the forfeit, make sure they have a way into the forfeit to score their one. and they need to get to their yellow in the center as well. The Czechs are short stone just now, so we're going to see a big one here from Anna Bauman. Big extension here. And you just maybe flick that one out a little bit. Maybe get the double rip. And she'll even make a little bump on her own yellow here.
Really great result. Yeah. Get some separation between the yellow and the red, but keeps them in a very good angle.
Pretty good. Double peel. And I don't see the Czechs put another center guard up, it seems. Still lying shot there.
Hodně místa. Hodně místa.
4, 3, 4.
Vůbec na směr.
5, 4.
Advantage is coming to the top 12 here, side by side with the center guard. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but Bauman should be able to remove both of his guards now.
What do you like? What if we nose the red one? What? What if we nose the red one? This? Or just peel it? Yeah, I like just peeling it, I think. This way? Same way, Dana.
So just peeling the red could maybe get rid of both and make sure that they keep it open. It's really important that they allow themselves to score, even if it's just a 1.
Oh, they don't want to remove their own yellow here. They have. It's just too tight there from Anna Bauman. You never gave that a chance.
No, she made a beautiful double on her first, but over curls her second. The 2 yellow guards, they are pretty close, they can be running, but Czech Republic can try and prevent that.
Tohle jsou fakt krátký. Spíš jako narvaný kam tohle, no. Právě, ne. Druhý kámen do kruhu. Ať hrajou oni, jako. Jako je pravda, že jestli jsme chtěli ukrást, tak jako je to fajn, ale... Thank you.
No tak tohle byl druhý kámen do kruhu.
Jenom lízat, no. Jenom tady to chtěl. Jenže ona se pak odklouzne do kruhu sama, no. Jakože pak tím kamenem ona, když bude takto. Asi ten guard, no, ať to hraje ona, no. Tak asi ten guard, no. Jestli se byla tajmu. Holky, pojďte sem.
So timeout called. And I think we're going to see Karel Kubeška make his way down to the ice to have a talk with the girls.
Ale jo, to vypadá hezky, ale když ona potom bude hrát střílet, tak je dost vysoká pravděpodobnost třeba otuká, že to má hrozně jednoduchý potom. Buď to může být double, nebo ona se otuká nějak. To je jako další varianta, oni se bych taky uvažovala. Nebo úplně na stranu, jako ať si hraje ona. Máme 2 kameny v kruzích, sice to není na to, že ukradneme, ale mít 2 kameny v kruzích, ať hraje ona. Ať ona to řeší, ona to může dělat.
Jo, ale ona tady jako zaroluje a tamhle ten nám bude tak jako... Mně se asi líbí tohle, no, a možná jako zkusit teda dál, no.
Asi jo, no. Jako je tam teď díra, no. Ale abychom tam taky nedostunuli ten žlutej, což se taky může stát. Guard, stromeček na stranu. Nebo zájezd úplně. Udírou. Jo, to je jenom 4 prostě. Až na 6. Nebo na 5.
takhle, jako tady.
A nebo až tady k němu.
What did he say?
Well, I don't speak Czech that well, but I think they're looking at some sort of guard here.
So what's important to guard in this situation?
I think you want to guard the yellow on the center line. That's the easier shot, but you kind of have to guard your red stone as well. So I think you put this one pretty much right on the center line. They're also looking to come into the house at the top 12 to try and choke off the angled run back as well, but it's very difficult not to just leave it open for a straight red on red double. Does look like they're trying to get into the house here though. Just want to tuck a little piece of the red in behind the yellow on the left hand side. That's a pretty good shot actually.
It's very nice. The question is if they did leave a double.
It's very close to avoiding that, but surely there's a slash double here, meaning you can hit the red one on the left hand side, run it across the nose of the second red. A little wide here, but she might catch this one thin and might spin in the shooter. Yeah.
Now he gets one in the rings. Haikova not going to bother with it, just going to play the exact same shot.
Interesting.
Well, she could maybe guard both the run backs here.
Or
Could also play the hit and roll here of the stone in the house.
Yeah, she could.
Because
I think there might be some nerves about playing the yellow onto the red.
maybe. Or maybe they're just taking a bit more of an aggressive approach here and really want to steal, which I like to see though, because scoring in the 8th end here would be really big for the Czechs. They just take that advantage that the US has away from them. So if they could steal one here and then force the US back, they're the ones going to have the last stone in the 10th end with a tight score. So yeah, no, I like the call. See if the execution is there. A little short for weight.
Yeah. She found some good line.
I think there's still a run back here though for Mackenzie Lank. Maybe even both. Need a bit of a thicker hit on the yellow on the right, obviously.
Yeah, but they will have 2 in the rings if she makes this.
Yeah. Really don't want to give up 2 here if they're the Czech Republic. A blank or a force is both good.
Yeah, that's okay. We might be able to roll on. What? Like here? This board? Okay.
Jde mi odkop ten odznáček, který jsem si tam dala schválně, že za chvilku vezmu. Že oni spadnou. To tam.
Maybe just overthrown this one as well. Maybe lucky to spin it off for a second yellow though. Like that. But yeah, I wouldn't say lucky would be the best word to use.
No, but she ends up in a tricky place. Czech Republic can't really keep guarding this now with that yellow in the rings. But they could they could actually roll out. If they try and roll in and just get half a way in there, they could just leave quite an easy double.
Dokážeš, počkej, vidíš dostatek, abychom se dostali sem? Nebo můžeme jenom sem? Ale
já vidím celý kousek, no.
I like the roll in here though. Really puts some pressure on Corey Christensen.
Yeah, but the question is how far in she can roll.
I think she's more than the whole stone. Easily. It's wide open, so just need a nudge in here. Got to make sure you go for it though. Can't afford to play the nose hit here. Sweeping for line here. This is looking very tight to the guard actually. And we're actually all over the guard. That's a big mistake. That's the last thing you were supposed to be doing in that spot.
Oh, they were sitting so good all end. And now a chance for Corey Christensen instead. No pressure. Just hit this, roll out, sit 2. And really position themselves in the driver's seat. Makes a really nice roll. They're very level. It's not really a double on.
Yeah, I think the best she can do here is maybe roll underneath the yellow. What she could have done here is actually hit the wide one and trying to roll towards the center line behind the shot stone. Make it a bit more difficult. A little less room to roll here. If she is looking for the roll.
Oh, and maybe she overcompensated a bit. She overcurled on their last.
Yeah, it's not going to do that here. Just a nose hit, and Corey will have a nose hit back for the 2 to take a big advantage in this game.
She's been really consistent with these shots. We've not really gotten any easy mistakes out of Corey Christensen. Just needs to hit this and stick. She's done it a couple of times before. So that means USA scores 2 in the 8th end. They will lead the game 6-4 with 2 ends to go. How do you predict the rest of the game?
Well, I think advantage USA here. If they can force the Czechs to take a single in 9th, they'll be 1 up with hammer and should control the game. But we'll see when the Czechs obviously have to go into a 6th gear here and really push on, get some stones in play, take a few risks here. And it's all down to the team that makes the most shots, as always. And we'll see. We'll be having to see the Czechs play a defensive game and peel the guards off, and I'm not sure if we'll have a few mistakes on that part or not.
The USA play defensive?
Sorry, the
Yeah.
USA, I mean.
That would make sense.
And we did see a few misses earlier in the game. So it's down to Anna Bauman and Mackenzie Lank to peel those guards off. And also for Hopkins here to make sure this stone's in the house. Does not want to drop a centre guard. Calling this a bit heavy, so maybe just being on the safe side with this one.
On its own. Sit. Sit.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Untouched.
Talking to the stone, asking it to sit might help.
The Stone Whisperer.
Yep, and now it's definitely time to be offensive. Klara Svatonyeva, corner guard.
It's still pretty tight out there in the World House Arena today, Sarah. No blowouts at all.
Tell us, please.
Well, next to our sheet, Italy is leading over Denmark 6 shots to 4. It's all tied up between Korea and Switzerland, 5 points each. The same between Scotland and Sweden. They're tied at 3 points each. And I think they're just about to put up a new score between Russia and Canada on sheet A.
4-5. Just a 4-5. Line's really good. Yep.
Looks like Russia stole one, so they're 5 shots to 3 on Canada after 8 ends. So it's still pretty open every single game in this draw.
And Hopkins has just put up a good centre guard to protect the shot stone. Svatonyeva gonna draw him behind the corner. There's not a lot of room there.
Go. Chest, kid. Chest. Yep.
Gonna be on the guard. Take the yellow as well, and I'm not sure that's gonna help them.
Yeah, not terrific. At least they have a few guards in play. And the wide one might be usable. Definitely not the perfect scenario. And US girls are going to be drawing here, apparently.
Which one?
I wouldn't mind just ripping off the red center guard here.
No point peeling it, really, right? I like the draw. I think I like this. Do you think it'll curl enough? Yeah.
I think if I was Haikova, I'd be happy seeing USA playing the draw here. Just putting more stones in play. Obviously, if you make a really good one here, the Czechs will have to do some work to tidy things up, but eventually you might see them do that and might be able to use these yellow stones for their favour.
I think at least they're going to be very happy that they're going to get to keep the guard, and it might also soon be a stone in the rings, because this one's tight. I will just feather off it. Roll in. But here's a usable situation for the Czechs.
Yeah, like I said, the Czechs just need to take a few risks now, so don't want to see too many hits. Could just play the straight draw here, really.
Yeah, they could, or if they're talking about backline, they could just push this down and roll in. It's a tricky shot, but they could get this all the way down behind T-line, behind the wide corner, and use it later.
Yeah,
hit and roll here. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought that was the plan. She was indicating quite a low weight, but this looks really heavy. And it's hitting on the wrong side of the stone, so I just think that's an overthrow. And it's not really complicating things for the US now. Wide open, this red one.
Rolling back. Pretty much the same situation.
Ale to jsme jako furt hrozně blízko, že?
Spíš jste jako hezký za nějakým pomalejším to jako rozťukat, tenhle dostat do kruhu. S tím, že ten prostě odrovuje se.
10?
Asi jo.
Ale tohle říkáme, že by bylo fajn to vzít jako takhle, tenhle do kruhu a my sami zůstat tady. 10!
Calling quite a complicated shot here. Red, I think, onto the... Did she show it to the left yellow or straight down?
I'm not quite sure. I think both might be options. Certainly looking closer to the shot stone here. And she's going to run it right between them. That's a terrible result.
It's quite often the case when you indicate you can do this or you can do this. You need to be very decisive on what you want to do, go for it, and then have a plan B. But when you know that you kind of had two shots and both are okay, then it's very common that we see just something in the middle.
Yeah, not even for the throw itself, but also for the communication between the away skip and the skip. They might be thinking about two different results and might call the sweepers on and off. Yeah, it's not a very good end by the Czechs here. They haven't really made a shot yet, except for the very first corner guard.
Yeah, USA can really just close everything off here.
Just need to tread carefully though. Still a lot of stones in play.
You could just draw behind this red, maybe show half, top 8 foot.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that call. I think they're going for the top here, and I
It's a
think
bit more complicated.
yeah, a bit tougher. This is over curling though, so you might get the result you were wanting, Sarah. Having to go to come past the corner guard even. There we go.
That's good.
It's not bad.
No, it is good. I told you.
Not very close to the top, which I thought was indicated. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, she was calling the tap, but that just was a bit tight and really, really curled.
Aspoň když tak otevří ten žlutý.
Žlutý asi radši ne.
No, radši žlutý než červený.
Takhle. Backline. Posunem to dozadu a sami zůstat před tím žlutým. Backline je 13 8.
Trying to get through the port here, but this one's over curling. It's not getting any better for the Czechs here.
No, I think like just from the start of the game, they might have just waited too long before they really started playing, and now it doesn't seem like they really know the ice or the weight.
Yeah, exactly.
And also in a pressure situation, when you all of a sudden need to make very perfect shots, it's tough if you haven't really played any during the game.
Well, that's why I mean, you'll usually have the more aggressive team win the championships, because they'll always be up for making the perfect shots, the difficult shots. While you might see some defensive teams make the playoffs, but they'll have a hard time, especially when they're behind in games, chasing games. If you can't set up an aggressive end, they're going to struggle in the long run.
Yeah, and USA would rather leave this short. Gonna come down quite deep. Might leave a triple, might leave some sort of chance for Czech Republic to score.
They'll definitely be able to open us up, but I'd still like to be the US in this end, though.
Because they're 2 points up?
Well, even not thinking about the scoreboard, this end looks really... It's really hard for the Czechs to score more than one. What they really can hope for is just to open it up so they at least have a shot for one.
Yeah, then go for a steal, and the steal in the extra end as well. Can't really lose any more points in this part of the game.
I wonder if technically the quad might be on, but I'm not sure if Haikova has enough speed to get all the yellows moving.
No, but if she can just keep her red in a position where it's still usable.
Should have swept that one, actually. Got that one too thick, but it's not bad. Has opened up the forfeit.
Yeah, even if there's... But the problem is now that even if USA don't really have a great shot stone, if they hit this, roll a little bit, then there's not really going to be a very big gap for Janatova to draw for one. Could be difficult to get in there.
Yeah, no, for Curry, obviously it's important just to get rid of the red here, but it's the details. If you just roll to the perfect spot, just make things so much more difficult for the Czechs.
Yeah, even a nose hit here isn't bad. Nose hit or roll just a couple of centimeters towards the center.
That's pretty good. And I'd expect the Czechs to play maybe a hit and roll off the winger here.
Yeah, they are looking at the draw as well, but it's not a big gap.
I guess it's a little bit down to what Iveta wants to play. Usually it's easier to place your shots with draws rather than hit and rolls, but as you said, that gap is not very big. So I'd say the hit and roll is the easier of the two shots just now.
Yeah, but you can't really have too much weight because you need to roll quite steep.
Yeah. You need to make the run back as long as possible for USA. So a perfect shot would be a draw here, just deep back, maybe back four even. Spending some time here, but have about 9 minutes left on the clock, so no rush for the Czechs.
Dobrá, že když to otevřem, tak to otevřem, no. Ten rambek. Že to ještě tak otevřem, no. Ten roll je zase takovej, že ona to vystřelí.
No jaký přijde, jako tohle se mi nelíbí. A tohle...
Jako, jak se tam zase dostaneš? Takhle odsaď, jako, musím hrát. Až je navíc tam můžeme zavřít ten rambek potom.
Já jsem buď pro ten rambek teď, nebo pro tu díru. A co tou dírou?
A ta díra, jak jako ta díra, ten směr skončíš tady, nebudeš lepší. Abys měla ten směr. A nebudeš tady. Ta díra je malá prostě.
Tak rambek?
Teda rambek. Jo?
Asi jo.
Tak rambek, no. Už tak to otevřu prostě, 9.
Tak vezmeš i tenhle.
So they've elected the run back.
That seems like maybe the third most difficult shot to make. And I'm not sure if the result's going to be at all that
they
great,
can
because
roll in behind these yellows. They will leave a short run back.
it just seems like the hit and
USA,
roll's
but
a lot easier though.
that'll leave the same run back though for Corey
Still,
Christensen.
but at least I think there's a higher percentage you make it.
Well, it's not that long. Just needs to hit this first one on the nose. Pretty much. Iveta Janatova, just make sure you get one in there. Makes it but rolls out. You will sit for shot stone.
And if Corey Christensen can ever roll in here.
They are going to struggle to score.
Yep. I guess they'll be left with the same hit and roll on the right hand side then. I'm not sure where you actually want to roll here.
We can roll all the way over here. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, I think that's better. That's a good shout by Mackenzie Lank. You don't want to roll too flat and too short. You might just leave some backing for Iveta with her hit and roll. So rolling all the way over to the other side wouldn't be a bad thing here for Corey.
Oh, wait for the curl. Really needs to roll. How much have they got? And
This is pretty good.
yep. It's really good even.
Yeah, perfect.
There is a hole, but it's not a big one.
And you're definitely not going to get shot stone from the hit and roll here. There's not a lot of options left. And if I'm going to be a little bit picky, that stone should have probably rolled a few inches more or less. But it really asks the question of Iveta here. If she can't get through that hole, it might just be game over.
This is Iveta Janatova for Czech Republic with a shot to keep them in the game. It's the last one of the ninth end. She needs to find a very, very, very tight hole. And this is looking like it's going to over curl. It is really curling. There's not much the sweepers can do. And it'll be a steal of 3. Massive steal for USA. And yep, score, it was too big. Czech Republic shakes hand right there. They will move to 0-3. while USA will now move to 2-1, moving up in the standings here in Flims.
Yeah, tough start for the Czech Republic. Silver medalist from Östersund 2012. Not finding their groove yet.
No, not really, and really it's quite a defensive game. Czech not really putting the stones in play until very late, and then they didn't know enough about the ice and the weight. So you see the final score there is 9-4 to the USA. They win the game. They are now on 2 wins and 1 loss. We will be back with an interview with Corey Christensen and, of course, some highlights of the game. Also, make sure you join us again at 2 o'clock, because we have another live game, this time from the men's session. It's Austria versus Sweden. Make sure you tune in then, and for now, stay tuned for interview and highlights. And we're going to take a look at the highlights from this third women's draw between Czech Republic and USA. In the first end, after one mistake by the American girls, Iveta Janatova has an open takeout for 2. Just needs to hit and stick. Manages to do so and gets an early lead. But in the third end, it's opportunity right back for USA. The Americans are sitting 1, and Corey Christensen needs to draw the forefoot to score 2. Sweepers are off it, and Susanna Haikova is ready to try and get it all the way out of the forefoot. She won't. And USA ties the game up at 2 each after 3 ends. Czech Republic, they scored 1 in the 4th. And this is the situation that was facing Corey Christensen with her last in the 5th end. It's another nose hit for 2. She's been solid as a rock with these shots the entire game. She makes that one as well, and they will get a 1-point lead after half of the game is played. 6th end. Was looking like Czech Republic was going to have a chance for 2 for a while, but this is now Iveta Janatova's last stone, and it's a draw for 1. Everyone is really helping with this. She needs a forefoot. They will have it all the way down. It's just there, so Czech Republic scores 1 to tie the game up after 6. 7th end was blanked, and Corey Christensen once again has a nose hit for 2 and a lead of 2 points in the 8th end. She makes that one as well, and score after 8 is 6-4 to the USA. In the 9th, there was a whole bunch of yellow just all around the house, and Janatova had to come through a really tight port to close the game up. She won't. She'll wreck on the guard. It's a steal of 3 for USA, and handshakes from Czech Republic. USA wins the game 9-4. So apparently we are not going to have an interview with Corey Christensen, who is feeling a bit media shy today this morning. But instead, make sure that you log in again at 2 o'clock this afternoon, because we will be bringing you the game between Austria and Sweden. So for now, thank you and bye-bye.